We are the Hollywood Paranormal Detectives.
Bam, you get a look at those three people, and then you get a look at us live.
Hello.
How's it going? I know you're shocked out of your pants to see it just start with all three members. It's never happened. Unprecedented. Episode 38. Already jumping the shark with excellent action. We have no guests tonight. Does that make you guys sad?
I mean,
we generally okay, but you know, it's nice to have somebody new to talk to.
Yeah. It's always it's fun to get. Is it weird that I love when they start talking to us? I'm like, oh, there you go.
Yeah, I like when Derek flipped the script and was asking us questions.
Yeah, I got really nervous.
I got so nervous.
I was like,
I don't like when it goes 20 minutes over.
When it goes, that makes it hard. Well, the worst is when you look down and it's like an hour over, and you're like, oh shit.
The 1 hour mark is about my limit for being even social on online.
It's about where I hit my Red Bull limit. And Red Bull, sponsor us, Red Bull. All right, there's 7 people watching. Everybody say hey. Everyone click like. Tonight is about questions. Tonight is about talking. And if any of you 7 work at Red Bull, who better to sponsor than a ghost hunting team? Who else stays up all night? Red Bull, give us wings. Let's get some comments. Let's get some questions. But we got something to discuss, guys.
Oh, no.
And that's Vulture City Paracon.
Vulture City. Coming up quick.
I want to do the City Paracon.
Boy, is that delicious.
Which one?
So I want to do Spatula City Paracon.
And what better way to say I love you than with a spatula? It's this weekend. We're going to be there in the desert, in all these little houses, in all this little forgotten land of time. You're going to see these beautiful faces and my beautiful wife. What's up? Oh, New Reality saying hello. Hello, New Reality. Oh, how are you? What is up?
Hey, it's the New Reality.
We wish the New Reality was going to be there. I think they should make a drive-by. They should do a drive-by Vulture City crash. Just kick the doors in and take it by its throat.
Hell yeah.
I think so. That's my vote. It's going to be pretty cool. I've seen the location on, all the shows have been there. Everybody's been there.
Everybody's been there.
It's, I would say the only place that's more kind of raw is Bodie.
Oh, for sure.
But it's a pretty raw town.
It's out in the middle of nowhere. So
yeah. It's going to be pretty great. Have you ever been there, Mandy?
I've driven through it.
Oh.
Accidentally, because I got lost.
For a sacrifice.
What, Brian?
Unless we're being lured in for a sacrifice, it should be good.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Do you happen to have a list of some of the people that will be there?
I do.
Oh, New Reality says Vulture City is haunted AF. That means haunted as...
That's what I've heard.
It's haunted as Fountain.
Haunted as some other paranormal location that starts with an F.
Haunted as France. Because France is haunted.
Yeah, so Friday night is a celebrity meet and greet.
Celebrity meet and greet, everybody. Tell me some of the celebrity.
We don't have to do that.
You're a celebrity.
Oh, no, we'll be there.
Being met and greeted?
Yeah.
Being met and greeted. Patty Negri will be there.
Woo, Patty.
She's going to do table tipping.
Have you ever seen table tipping?
Interesting.
Not with Patty.
I've never seen it with Patty. I've seen it before. You know what? It was so long ago. I wonder if it was Patty. I saw it.
It might have been Patty.
So Patty
We'll give it the
Jay.
TikTok reaction to everybody. So say the name, Patty. Woo!
Jay and Marie Yates from Haunting Police Files. They are also co-owners of Vulture City Paracon. So,
Woo! Do you know what I'm doing? The TikTok reaction guy. If it's bad, it has The Rock. It goes, "It's the biggest piece of shit." And then another guy goes, "It's all right." You haven't seen all those?
No, I haven't.
That's on TikTok.
My FYP is very different.
So TikTok it'll show like a movie poster and has this guy going, "Woo!" It'll show the next one, "Woo!" It'll show the next one, it's The Rock. "It's the biggest piece of shit." Like he just sort of, it's just how they judge stuff. It'll do it with food and other things. All right. Who else we got?
Stefan from My Darkness Hour Radio will be
there. That's you know him, right?
Yeah, he's super cool.
He's the guy from up here from that last Paracon, right?
Mm-hmm. The Ventura Paracon.
He's got a cool beard.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's cool. I've watched some of his stuff. He's on Paraflix also.
Yeah. He's super cool.
Yeah.
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 And then Saturday will be the first Paracon day.
Well, who else is coming to that? Celebrities. Let's get some more celebrities. Who you got?
That was all they had listed for the meet and greet. So
that's just those three?
I don't know.
Hi. Balder Loki McDonald. Is that your real name?
And then Saturday we'll have Unearthing the Supernatural, which I love them.
They're on Paraflix also.
They're the coolest guys.
Yeah.
What's his face? Colin
from Paranormal Files.
Yeah.
I feel like I've raised him because I've been watching him since he was a little kid. Ghost Hunt.
It's my son.
I've been watching him since it
That's
was like,
my boy.
Yeah, I used to watch it and go, "Oh, I'm watching this little guy," and it was his old girlfriend and his old best friend, and they went everywhere, and they always got they would get 5 or 6 interviews per building. They would get full access to places no one got access. The early Paranormal Files were almost like early Ghost Adventure stuff. It was so you couldn't believe how much stuff he got.
And it's gotten better.
And it's gotten better and better. And he's one of those guys. If you've never watched Colin's show, that guy is so brave. It's amazing. He did a show from Mansfield, and I was telling Mandy about this a few days ago, I think. He did a live from Mansfield, and if you've been to Mansfield, you know how big it is. And he was talking about where he was, and he had been let in and locked in for the night by himself with just his phone. And he's just talking this is the cell where this happened and so and so. Oh, heard a sound. And anyway, blah, blah. I'm like, good Lord, what a pair of braslins on this guy. He is to be that deep in Mansfield alone and just sort of anyway.
No big deal.
Man, he's fantastic. I'm excited to meet him.
Yeah, he'll be cool. The Ray Chasers will be there.
Finally get to meet those guys.
Yeah, Rob Thompson from the Ghost Finders will be there. He's a psychic medium.
Guy with the bleached top of his hair. Yeah, he's very cool.
And then, of course, the Chosen One.
The Chosen One!
Chosen One will be there.
Nathan! We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
Okay.
Wait, with the whole team or just Nathan?
It says everybody.
Oh, it's gonna be good.
So.
What about Hollywood Paranormal Detectives?
We're not mentioned because we're not that cool.
We're not talent this time. We're just guests.
Yes, that's
right. No, we're sponsors. That's what we're considered.
And then Sam Baltrusis will be there. Sam, I actually saw him on a shock doc on Discovery Plus.
Yeah.
He did the Lizzie Borden house.
Oh.
So it'll be interesting to see him in person.
He's the guy, short dark hair.
Yes. I think it's dark hair.
I know what they look like.
It was like him, Chris Fleming, and Dave Schrader.
Okay.
So,
question from Paranormal Popcorn: what do you think of the Spirit Taker app? Well, my friend used it. It took his spirit, and he died. Oh, Spirit Talker. That app's pretty good too. I've never used the Spirit Talker app, Paranormal Popcorn. Manny, have you ever heard of it?
I've heard of it. I've never used it. Apps are tricky. I think it depends on what kind of app that you're using and what phone you have.
Well, if an app is telling you it can use technology that your phone doesn't have, that's sort of sketchy sometimes. Like EMF detector apps are like, it's not on your phone. Like, it's not possible.
Well, no, wait. Yes, it is. And
really?
you can get, if you go for the ghost hunting ones, you're not going to get anything worthy. But if you go on and just find an EMF leak detector app for like professionals, for like electricians and such, they work. I had one
on a phone.
Yeah, I had one that worked great.
Really?
Yeah, but unfortunately, I didn't want to pay for it, so it got ads all the time. So I got rid of it because I have plenty of EMF meters.
Now, how do you think it worked through the phone?
The same way your phone can be turned into a level or a frickin' RPM meter or all kinds of things. It's got gyro sensors inside. It's also got what it needs to do to detect EMF, because I had one that worked great.
Wow. Now, I had no idea. That's fantastic.
But like I said, I have not experienced that with the ghost hunting apps. The ghost hunting apps always seem to be geared towards getting results, whether there's something there or not.
Yeah.
I used to, like if I'm feeling it, I'll use 2 ghost hunting apps. Obviously Necrophonic. I do like Necrophonic.
Which one's Necrophonic?
Necrophonic.
I've never used any.
You never used Necrophonic?
It's any apps, because I've always had tons of equipment.
It's like it's like a spirit box, like it sweeps, but it's already got the reverb and like stuff on it, so it sounds cool. And then the Miracle Box app, which was created by Steve Huff. I like those 2, but any other app for like ghost spirit box kind of app on iPhone, I don't totally trust, because like if you have an Android, most of the apps that are created for Android can actually sweep the like internet radio frequencies. Oh, wow. iPhone can't. So most of the apps for iPhone, it's just a word bank that they're pulling from. And so
he says Twin Paranormal has been using it. I don't think I even know Twin Paranormal.
I think I do. Are they the heavy tatted guys, the young guys?
Oh, yeah. Popcorn. Are they the tattooed? Are they like English?
No, the guys I'm talking aren't English, but they're like they're younger guys. One guy's got like facial tattoos.
Yeah. I think I might have seen them.
But I mean, at the end of the day, Spirit's not stupid. Like, they can use whatever they want to come through. So you can get results on just about anything.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, they can text you, you know.
They can text you.
I wish they would.
Now we got someone saying
make it easier.
Hearing whispers in their mom's room. Activity's picking up. That's pretty exciting. Where do you live, Loki?
Yeah, I like the Necrophonic app. That one I've always had. I know there's like controversy about it, but I've personally always had good use with it.
They're from Reno. Young guys that have tattoos. They're really popular now. They work with Colin. Those are the guys with Colin lately. Okay, I've been seeing those guys lately.
I like the necrophiliac app that shows you where to dig up fresh bodies, but not too fresh.
That's police. We have no connection with Brian legally. Oh, they speak Icelandic.
Oh, Iceland, nice.
Oh, Loki is in Iceland. I'm sorry. You're in Iceland. Wow.
That's fucking cool.
It's 3:15 a.m.
My brother goes quite often on business, but I've never been there. It's supposedly awesome. Very expensive.
Bjork's from there. That's all I know. So we've got Colin from Paranormal Files coming to Vulture City. Who's next? Big action.
Natalie Jones.
Woo! Natalie
Yeah.
Jones, so nice, so friendly.
Let's see. I can't say this last name. James Anito is a demonologist, so I actually am interested in checking that one out. Patty will actually be doing a seance as well.
Yes.
During the daytime. Cool. Andrea from the Conjuring House.
Andrew, is he from the same documentary? Andrea. Oh, from the Conjuring House, the people that own it.
And then,
And
Sure would find one of them Conjuring houses.
I would love to go out there. I would love to hit up, do a big East Coast tour of 20 locations in 20 days. That'd be awesome.
How about 20 minutes? We can get over real fast. 20 days for 20 minutes each.
And just run straight to the next one. I wonder if we could do that.
Please donate $20. We can do that.
Yes, everyone donate. You know what I've been watching? We don't talk much about our please donate. A lot of people go on live and really work for the donations. If you're watching this and you really like us and you like what we do every week, that follow that link tree in bio and you can join our Patreon, which is super easy, and just give us $1 a month. That's that whole idea of it. If all your friends gave you $1, a million friends gave you $1, you're a millionaire. It's pretty easy. And every dollar helps. The Patreon pretty much just pays for our talk show, which this is a monthly fee. And we really appreciate it. And because of the little bit of Patreon we started the talk show to kind of give something back. Where is Boom? Why is he never here? I miss Boom so much. I just talked to him.
He's in Romania, right?
Yeah.
Romania?
Yeah.
Where is he going?
I'm trying to get Boom on as a surprise guest for Brian. I just want to not tell Brian and just pop Boom in.
But I know now.
But you never know when it's going to happen.
That's true.
Hold on. Why is he in Romania?
Because he had to get out of Ukraine.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Boom moved to the Ukraine with his girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Just telling Loki where Boom's at, and Boom is okay. He's doing good. We miss him. We love him. He is quite the character. So yes, he turned into Dracula. He may have already been Dracula. We're not sure about Boom. But he's in Romania, just chilling, working on his music and keeping his life straight. He's had a little bit of family problems. He's doing good. I don't know what his future holds, but he's always welcome back here. Some Boom and Mandy investigations would be badass.
In
I
Romania?
feel like me in Romania.
Boom would give you the horns, Mandy. The little horns.
I feel like me and Boom we would just kind of work.
Yeah.
It would be awesome
I think we would just work.
to have the four-member team with Boom back, because you know, he gets a little intense.
Boom like a drum.
A little intense with everyone, but all great dude, and I'd love to have him back on the team. I mean, I still consider him a member of the team, but obviously he's a not participating member.
I consider he's still part of it as much as we were blessed with that. He was here for like a day, and we filmed the old LA Zoo.
That was awesome. It was great to have him for that one.
Yeah, and we didn't hear from him for like a year. He's like, "Hey, I'm in town, guys," and we're like, "We're about to film tonight."
Perfect.
Like, Boom, come please. Gosh, Boom was great. Loki, if you remember Boom, what are some of your favorite memories of Boom? Let us know in the comments. Anybody else? Ask us some questions. So Mandy, you're interested in seeing the demonologists,
Yeah.
and who else are you interested for? You probably
I mean, I'm excited to see Patty again.
yes.
I'm excited to see Natalie. I'm excited to see Unearthing the Supernatural.
I want to see their drum circle.
Yeah, I hope they get to. So they opened and closed the event in Ventura, and then they did it for the OC Paracon that just happened this last weekend. They opened and closed with their.
There's an OC
drum circle
Paracon
and
this
chanting.
last weekend.
Yeah, yeah.
When did that happen?
Yeah, it was all weekend in Anaheim. A lot of people went there. Yeah, Patty was there. Unearthing was there.
I didn't even know about it.
Oh yeah,
I
it
didn't
sold
know
out really quick. I didn't
even know about it.
Oh, super.
Yeah. Brian, who are you looking forward to see?
I can tell you what I'm not looking forward to see. Wherever it is, we're going to be sleeping.
It's a good hotel. It's a good place. It's like a basic chain. We got like a Quality Inn.
Okay,
Whatever.
It's not some 100-year place with without running water or anything.
It's not anything. It's nothing like the Silver Queen. We're having to drive into town.
I would have loved if the Silver Queen, we were just there for an investigation and then we just crashed for a few hours, but because we were staying several nights and had lots of time there, the lack of television and spotty internet and stuff of that nature made it a little unpleasant, but obviously very historical, like being back in the old days. So if that's the experience you're looking for, the Silver Queen is just for you.
Mine wasn't so bad.
Well,
my room was tiny. I had to crawl over my bed to get to the other side of the room.
Yes, and the bathroom door hits the foot of the bed and things like that. But like I said,
great.
For the historical experience, excellent. If you're looking for a luxury hotel, find a luxury hotel.
Yeah, I totally I thought I'll never sleep without like a TV and sound, and when I hit my bed every night, I was out.
But even all those windows, those tilted windows above the doors were all open, and you were only 2 rooms down, I never heard you snoring.
I'm surprised.
Really?
No, I didn't sleep much. I never heard you snoring.
I'm so shocked. We have another question from Popcorn. Do you guys believe in skinwalkers? Serious question.
Oh, totally. I saw one in Virginia City.
This past time or before?
Yeah, this past time. Okay, Cody
Whoa,
from New
what?
Reality will say that it was not a skinwalker, but I am convinced it was a fucking skinwalker.
Whoa.
So
start from the beginning.
Right? Okay, so okay, no one's gonna believe me. I'm telling you, it was a skinwalker. It was this deer, but it did not look like a normal deer. Okay, and it was
wearing a Mountain Dew hat.
It was like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and out of nowhere, this deer was just standing in the middle of the road. And the way that it was, I don't know, it didn't look like a deer at all to me personally. And I was like, that's a fucking skinwalker. And it just stood there in the middle of the road, just staring. And then finally it moved along, but I got really weird vibes about it. He thinks it was a deer, but I don't think it was a deer.
It could convince you it's just about anything.
Right? Like, yes. So I do believe in skinwalkers 100%.
I like to believe in them. I'm just not sure I really do.
That's fair.
It goes with the theory that everything goes back to something, whether it goes back to sort of a Native American kind of tradition of dressing as the animal to let out your anger or hunt. And that could be the skinwalker, or just someone so good at it, really immersing themselves in the animal, trying to live out in the forest. It could happen all the way to the point, you can't unprove the unproven until you prove it. So, if there is something supernatural about it, or, when you fly over the desert, when you fly from east to west, and you see that big blank in the middle of the country, that big just open desert, and you
Anything
go,
could be there.
huh?
I said anything could be there.
Anything could be there. Just like when you go to the Pacific Northwest and you look as far as you can see for trees, and someone says there's no way a gorilla could hide in there. Absolutely, they could. Until you've been there, I think anything could be possible. Until we find it, until we prove it wrong, until we Scooby-Doo its mask off, we don't know. Here's a question: have you ever had anything follow you home after an investigation?
I was told I did, but I didn't have any experiences from it.
I don't think I have. Mandy thinks she has.
All the time.
All the time?
All the time.
Well, they come visit you beforehand too, so
Yeah, they're here before, they're here after. I have had a couple things that were not so pleasant follow me home. This is this is before I learned like boundaries and all that stuff. But yeah, stuff all the time. I think my first experience with something following me home was from the Queen Mary.
When you were first doing your little documentary there.
Yeah. Because I was spending so much time there. My first time doing that, I had something in my home, at least for a few weeks, really fucking with me, turning on and off lights, opening doors, like just a lot of weird stuff.
Wow.
I've had some darker stuff follow, but yeah, all the time.
Now, do you think they follow you home, or because you can hear them at a location, they just keep trying to talk?
Both. Because some will take off. Like they'll come here and they'll like chat for a little while and then they'll leave, and then others will stay way past their due.
Oh wow! Have you ever? What's the longest you've had something be with you?
Like 2 years.
Is it still there now?
No.
Paranormal, not ex-boyfriends.
2 years. Yeah.
Here's another one. What happens to spirits when a place they haunt gets destroyed completely, gone forever? Do you think the spirits still haunt the area? Do they know? Are they homeless? I think so. A lot of places it happens, when you go to like Goldfield and they tell you, well, there was a hotel that burned down here before the Goldfield was built. I think they can usually stick around to the land and they can choose to reconnect with the new establishment, or they can choose to kind of lay low and almost go into kind of a recluse kind of environment, not participate because they don't like the new environment. Or they can, I think, locate to somewhere closer that has a strong energy. You know what I mean? Like if they tore down the Goldfield School, those spirits could easily go to the Goldfield Hotel. Because it'd be another place with that strong energy they could.
And it's
I love Tonopah so much. What, bro?
It's right across the street. It's very convenient.
Yes. What do you guys think?
Large, spacious rooms.
I agree with you. I think that just because the location's gone, spirits, even ghost. So in mediumship, we reference spirits as people who've actually crossed over, and then ghost as those who haven't crossed over and they're still in this plane. So I think that
you can't talk to spirits then because they're gone, right?
Oh no, you can talk to anybody.
Yeah, I mean they're gone from this plane, but they're still on a reachable plane as far as communication goes, depending on...
So spirits who have crossed over can come and go as they please, super easy, no big deal. Ghosts who have not crossed over are a little bit more limited in what they can and cannot do. So a lot of times they will stay to the area or go to an area that does have more energy, like you said, to use, or they can choose to just move on because they do have that free will. Sometimes those events like buildings being torn down, I do think can create enough energy that they would just move on. But who really knows? So
now, is there any way? I've always kind of heard once they cross over, they're kind of done. You think they're not?
No.
Huh. Well, is there a plane where they like what most people consider heaven? Once they cross into heaven and through the gates, they're done. They're already in eternity and safe and happy and in as opposed to waiting in limbo and confused.
No, they're not in limbo. They can come. They can come back and forth between the planes as they please. They won't stay here. But they will definitely, their energy can move between the two for sure. That's why we get visitations from our loved ones and spirits, and that's why we communicate with them on devices and stuff, because they're in between.
But usually communication from loved ones are usually kind of closely after they pass.
Oh no.
You don't think so?
Oh no.
Most
in fact, actually, a lot of people won't hear from their loved ones for a while, because sometimes, at least just from what I've gathered, spirits, when they cross over, can go through a transitional phase. Like, it's not like they just cross over and all is well. When you go to the other side, or this is my interpretation, you go to the other side, you have a life review to do, right? You've got a
personally,
life
or through something else?
What do you mean?
Is there a judgment? Is there a higher
I wouldn't say
power?
it's a judgment. It's like, we come here for soul evolution, right? So we come here to learn lessons, to break karmic cycles, to do whatever we have to do, and then we go back up.
You have to live in an earthly body to understand. Yeah,
we have some sort of transitional period of time, and that can happen immediately after crossing over. That can happen a little while after crossing over. So there can be a chunk of time where people will be like, well, my loved one died and I haven't gotten a sign from them. It's not because you can't. It's just that they could be in that transitional phase. But I mean, you could talk to loved ones as long as they haven't reincarnated, which their energy can still stay behind. But as long as they haven't reincarnated, you could typically talk to loved ones.
I mean, I had
years and years and years.
Brief visitation from my grandfather, probably 8 or 10 years after he passed.
Oh, wow.
And it was just a little something where he was letting me know he was checking in.
Yeah, I think as time goes on, that check-in period gets smaller, because they got stuff to do too. Or maybe on the other side,
maybe they're able to check in, but we can't talk to them. You know what I mean? Once they passed on and they're in the higher plane, they can check in, but their phone's off the hook.
Well, I mean, Mandy as a medium speaks to people, I'm sure, who have been everywhere.
Yeah. You gotta
I did a reading for a woman whose sister. I did a reading for a woman whose sister passed away 40 years ago, and her sister is still coming through clear as day, easy peasy. So I mean, but to each their own.
Thank you. We just got 14 roses on TikTok. Thank you.
What's up?
That's like little tokens just to let you know.
Dance?
Huh?
Do I have to dance for TikTok? Maybe I should wear a funny little hat.
Hey, you make
my brother's commenting. So we had a building in our town called Wolf Manor.
Oh yeah, I remember Wolf Manor.
Yeah, which is very popular, and they tore it down quite a few years back. And I still think that the land in that area is still very much got a lot of activity.
Have they built anything there?
Fan of Wolf Manor? Because that would have been awesome.
What's that?
So was there a Wolf Man of Wolf Manor? Because that would be awesome.
Todd Wolf of Wolf Manor. But yeah, so that was a whole bunch of shit, but they took it down. And
is there anything there now, though?
No.
I wonder if we could go to that.
It's just a lot.
We should go to that lot.
They were planning on building something there.
There are a lot.
I don't even know, honestly. Maybe my mom or dad can comment, because I don't even know what it looks like now. But last I checked, there was nothing.
Oh, we could take some tents and sleep there.
But I'm sure, if you guys want to come visit my hometown, we could go check it out.
Can we stay at your parents' house? They cook us dinner?
Stay at my parents' house. We got some questions coming in. Hold on.
Okay, what we got? Always been able to see my iPhone's my great aunt. Move on. Spirits here for why would a child spirit still be here? What child? Well, so Popcorn asks, if spirits are here for unfinished business, why would a child spirit still be here? What unfinished business is there for a child to do? No point to learn algebra or try to get their first prom. Well, I think
I read from porn, but I guess that's just for me.
I read it as porn for a second too.
It's a misconception. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Spirits who stay behind, like ghosts, it's not always due to unfinished business. That's totally a myth.
Well, it's got to be very confusing. If your consciousness still is around after your death, and especially you would think maybe like at a certain young age you're still innocent, but then a certain child age you're kind of being a parent. You know how smart a kid can be at 4 and 5, and how like confusing something like that could be, not having a body anymore. Maybe they don't know how to cross over, and they're scared of what can help them cross over. And also a lot of things choose the form of a child to make contact because it's very accepting and it's unthreatening.
Yeah, right. Kids are creepy.
Yeah, I think that a lot of, at least in my experience, it can get confusing. I think a lot of times,
your dad says it's a vacant lot.
Oh, it is a vacant lot. Okay, cool. The children, so I think a couple things. I've met a few like child spirits that genuinely just were confused and didn't understand. I feel like though a lot of the times child spirits are crossed over, but they're just choosing to stay in this plane. And so that's where we kind of step in. We have to, well, if we're able to guide them back to where they got to go. But I don't think children get stuck. Like, I don't believe that children can get stuck.
Well, and as their spirit gets older, they're more anxious to see the world too. Mm-hmm. Imagine passing away and your spirit is still in the form and you're still lingering around and you're getting older in spirit form, but you really wish to know more about the world and you're hungry for that intelligence and that experience that you didn't get. So they would stick around to try to watch life, that they didn't get.
Yeah, it's hard. We're all trying to, like, even as a medium, like, I've had my experiences, but who knows, who knows what's really happening and why things happen the way that they do. But at least most of the children that I've encountered, I feel like are there just because they choose to be there. Because spirits, they all have free will. They can come and go as they please. It's just whether or not they have the ability to understand that, or they want to understand it.
Yeah, here's a cool one. Do you think that demons / evil spirits can force other spirits to stay behind, even if they have crossed over, even if they want to cross over? I can say
this question.
Huh?
This is a very Poltergeist question, meaning Poltergeist the film, the film.
They have to want to stay behind. You don't understand. Carol Ann has to want to come home.
I'm gonna get a lot of slack with this question, but I do think that ghosts can be oppressed by other forces. 100%.
It's just like the real world.
Yeah,
someone stronger can easily bully someone weaker, and I believe Brian, Camarillo State Hospital, 2018. We had that male spirit that wasn't letting the other spirits talk. And when we would move around, other little kid spirits would kind of talk. And then everywhere we moved, we'd get a little bit of these kid spirits, and then it'd be interrupted by like this deeper voice, like keeping them from talking. I remember feeling that vibe.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think that maybe not so much. I wouldn't say demons. I'm not going to say demons because demons don't have time for that. Like, demons want real humans to get inside their head and feed off of that. I think lower level entities, both human and non-human, that aren't demons, like just lower level, have the ability to suppress other
Hi,
spirits.
Ellie.
Especially if those other spirits feel they don't have enough power to push past it.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree with that.
Well, and when you go to demons, I've never encountered anything that I think's a demon. I feel like it would be stronger than I don't want to say stronger than a spirit, but it would be more kind of in control of itself. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like sometimes we get like faux demonic responses just to shut it down when somebody doesn't want to talk to us anymore.
Yeah, we'll get go away and no, and then we'll get demon on the Ovilus.
The Ovilus will say demon, and
Yeah, I mean, spirits will use that because they know, right? It creates a sense, it will create something for us, right? It'll either create fear or excitement. And so they'll use that, especially like lower level. And I think that's what a lot of people don't realize is that there's so many different types of darker entities. There's like a whole plethora. It's not just demons. I mean, you've got there's at least 2 or 3 lower levels of different types of entities. And so those are the ones, both human and non-human, that want people to believe that they're demons so they can feed off of that energy that's being created from fear, right?
Absolutely.
So 99% of the time, it's not a demon. Demons don't have time for that shit. They don't have time to open cabinets and scare you. They're in here.
I think a demon would talk to you different because it wouldn't know how to talk like a person.
Yeah,
it would
it's
be
a
very
completely
direct.
different experience.
I have never experienced anything that I didn't think was human. And that's my definition, right? Is that the common definition? A demon is something that was never human. It's not a spirit that lived and died and crossed over. It's something else. Is that everyone agrees? That's pretty much the base definition of human. Do you think spirits can cause light to appear in a room where there is literally no electricity running to the room, asking for me?
Absolutely.
Yes, Aurora, 100%. You're not crazy.
those are light anomalies, and we see them quite often.
Where the random flickers of light, oh my gosh, I can't even see that. Random flickers of light that happen, actual orbs. Yeah. God damn.
Random flickers of flight. Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
I want to say we've seen some pretty bright lights. I want to say something like that happened at the Goldfield Hotel with Boom. Boom saw a light down one of the hallways on like the 3rd floor. He thought a light came on in a room or something. Yeah.
I've certainly been in rooms that had electricity where lights have turned on by themselves.
Yes.
And that's, meaning you hear the switch click and the light comes on, not just, light going on and off.
Well, how many times have I think all 3 of us been somewhere where we go, it just got darker. It just got darker in here. It was dark, and now it just got darker.
The extreme of that was Nevada State Prison.
Yeah.
But at the Opera House, and I'm hoping that I got to get you the card, but I'm hoping it's there. The weirdest thing I saw at the Opera House was the shadow that moved across the whole room.
Yeah.
And it literally looked like you were outside and a cloud was passing. I mean, that's just what it looked like. And it went across the whole room, the surface of all the tables. And I was just standing there watching like, what the hell is that?
Have you guys ever encountered spirits that have expressed their reason for remaining here? Mandy, I'm sure you have.
Mandy question.
Yeah. I think the most recent one was when we were in Virginia City, that the man was still staying behind because he was looking for his family who were in a different plane at that point. Not realizing that I truly believe that he has accessibility to it, but I just don't think that he's in a state of awareness. But yeah, I've also had spirits just because they say they want to.
Yeah.
They like that location.
Not that it's completely relevant, but the at Nevada State Prison, when I asked why were you in here, got the absolute clear voice that just responded, "I'm a mean person."
Yeah.
Well, so I mean that may be a good reason for someone to be hanging around here.
Yeah.
They might like being mean to people, and that probably doesn't go over so well on the other side.
You're not feeling worthy of being able to.
Or they don't want them.
Or
They don't want them there.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that everyone will be accepted on the other side, but I think you'll also have some will as to whether you want to be or not.
At that transitional phase.
Oh, sorry. Read this one. I'm working in an old home, turned government building, and my tower that I work in, the upstairs has no electricity, and we have seen a man staring out the window with an overhead light on. Oh, wow. We got
from the outside.
That's cool.
The guy standing in the window, backlit by a light that can't possibly be there. That's
pretty amazing. Correct? That's pretty cool.
That's actually really, really cool.
That reminds me of
go ahead.
My brother had a story where he worked in a place, and he would get off the elevator, and he was a security guard. As the day guard got on the elevator, and he would say every day, like, "How you doing, Bill?" And he like, "I'm doing fine. Have a good day. You too." And he went up one day, and he said Bill didn't get on. I don't remember the name, but I think it was something like that. And my brother said this happened a lot. And my brother is very open. But then he said one day he asked, "Where was Bill yesterday?" And they were like, "Bill's the old man you replaced. He died. You took his job as the night security guy." And Scott never saw the guy again. But before he asked the question, he said hello to him every day.
That's weird.
Yeah. I wish my brother was on here to tell that story. I should interview him. He's seen some shit.
Yeah.
Well, years and years ago, I worked in a converted one-room like schoolhouse church building that we turned into a effects shop in Michigan, and it was pretty haunted. But there would be times when I would be driving up, and from the road I'd see somebody standing in the window looking out and think, "Oh, so and so's here," and I'd pull around and there'd be no cars there, and I'd have to unlock and go in. There'd be nobody in there.
Yeah.
But that was also we had a whistling spirit, which I knew nothing about this stuff when I first started working there. And one day the two guys I was working with went and got lunch, and I stayed to work on something, and I heard like just somebody whistling a tune right near me. I'm like looking around like, what the hell is that? And when they got back, I was like, "You know what I heard when you guys were gone?" They're like, "Whistling?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, that's just the whistler. You'll get used to it." And then one night it was like 3 a.m, and I was leaving, and I had a box of stuff to take to the commercial set the next day, and I closed and locked the door behind me, and the whistling started like right over my shoulder, followed me all the way, put my stuff in the car. I got in, closed the door, got the hell out of there. I'm speeding down the road, and all I could think was, man, if the whistling starts in my car, I'm going to lose my shit.
Done. Driving off the road.
Fortunately, it did not, but...
No, thank you.
But yeah, that shop was crazy. Stuff would move around, and
wow,
be things like fall out of the garbage can were clearly in there, really, not coming out.
Yeah.
Side question, Brian. I didn't realize you worked on the Munsters.
I did.
I saw all that little video. Tell me a little bit about that. What you can.
Wayne Toth and I did. Wayne was the main guy. He does all our Rob's movies, and I tend to work with Wayne when we're doing Rob's movies. And we made all Wayne did all the makeup designs. We made all the appliances, and then Chip and made the spot monster and all that stuff. We just shipped all that stuff to Hungary.
It looked like a lot of work though, like the Nosferatu makeup.
Well, I mean, like Nosferatu, I think we ran like 4 sets of those appliances and sent them. We only played a few times. We did the Herman stuff, obviously, and the Frankenstein heads. We made a bunch of them, but they were essentially reusable because we played like 80 days or something in that makeup. Yeah. So, but I ran all the Scar appliances and the foot and all that stuff. Ran all the foam, ran silicone appliances.
Kind of did everything. That's great.
Sent it all off to Hungary.
I don't know how people are taking it, but Tay has watched it like 5 times.
Oh, it's one of it's a definitely a polarizing film, as all of Rob's are, because there's a set audience that's going to hate it no matter what because Rob Zombie. Yeah. There's a set audience that's going to love it because Rob Zombie did it, and then there's the rest of the world that will judge it for whatever reasons they judge it for. But I find the non-judgmental people are kind of having fun with it. And
it got such a bad rap before it came out.
Well, it's still every more than every other review I read is just scathing, and I'm like, God, what were you expecting? Citizen Kane from the Munsters? Yeah. I mean, it's the Munsters. It was just silly cheese to begin with, and this one's silly cheese. I don't, with characters that look like monsters. What's the, I don't understand what's what all the hate's about. Because
my biggest thing is watching the original Munsters. A lot of it was how normal people reacted to seeing them. Right. And since they're not in normal world that often, that's usually most of the joke, when Herman walks up, they and run away or something. So without them being, walking to the grocery store and people,
right. I liked that, they moved into that. They moved towards the end. They move into that nice. It's coincidentally on Halloween, making it super Halloweeny as far as movies go from beginning to end.
Yeah.
And, the fact that then they reveal themselves as or they don't even understand that they're not being perceived for who they are. Everyone thinks they're caught in costume. I thought that was fun. I don't know. I didn't love the movie, but I thought it was fine. I don't love the monsters. So,
well, and it has a very pleasing palette for to have on.
The movie's beautiful to look at.
Yeah,
and and I think the Hungarian makeup artist did a beautiful job with the stuff we made, and it's just it's a really well made movie for the fact that it was super low budget and had to overcome a lot of problems because of the pandemic and so
well, I think it's still pretty cool, and I think it needed a laugh track. You know what I mean?
I think I wouldn't be surprised if they experimented with it, but
because the old one had one.
Right. I'd like to see a black and white version with a laugh track.
I like to see a black and white with a laugh track.
Be a fun special edition.
Yeah. So cutting back to Aurora, who's talking on the chat a little bit. That place is in Louisiana, so that's answers a little bit of it there. That's a very haunted part of the country.
I was answering Balder's question. He had a question about do you think spirits are drawn to different energies people have? Like if a person's depressed and questioning the existence of God, can they respond to that? Yeah, and so I do. I think that different spirits will seek out different things depending on the level of spirit, ghost, whatever that you're dealing with, and what it is that they are specifically looking for or need or want. So if you have like a lower vibrational spirit who's seeking a more depressed energy to feed off of, they will look for somebody who's vulnerable and depressed or struggling. If you got a spirit who really wants to chat it up, they're going to look for somebody who can hear them or listen to them, like a medium. So I totally agree with that for sure.
Well, it's sort of like, I always compare it to the bar, people talking at a bar. Some people are going to want to chat. Some people aren't. Some people are going to see someone who's trying to stay alone and they want to go chat them up. They want to learn about them. And some people don't, every environment, if the right person comes in, the spirit will react. If a very depressed, easily accessible person comes in to a location with a very powerful, dominant spirit, they're absolutely gonna kind of attack and oppress them. But if a very bright auraed, confident person goes in that same area, the spirits might not be as interested in them, because they don't know they can't attack or do whatever they do. But I think a lot of it isn't spirits. I think there are a lot of scratches in time, scratches in history, and kind of location scars of trauma that aren't necessarily a consciousness, maybe a visual.
No, like a psychic imprint,
or
residual energy.
Intruding on present time.
Yeah. Like, I think not everything we encounter is spirit, right? It definitely could be a residual energy or an imprint. But specific, Baldur mentioned that he was in a bad spot. I had a similar experience too. I had an attachment for about 2 years because I was also in a bad spot, and that it fed off of the fact that I was in it made my depression worse. It made my darker times worse. And as it did that, it also got stronger. And so I didn't realize it for about 2 years. I knew something was always following me, and I noticed that like my darker times were extra dark, but it wasn't until about towards the end of that I started to shift my energy and get out of it. And that's when I had my one-on-one. I dealt with the entity that was attached to me, but that can happen. I do believe in attachments. I believe in all that.
Sorry. Can you spot if someone else has an attachment?
Yeah, totally. And again, I believe in all this stuff. I think all of it's real. I don't believe in it's all love and light and rainbows and we're all one big spirit and all this shit. No, there's so many different levels to all of this. And I think that people can have attachments to them, whether they realize it or not. And it could be actual spirit attachment. It could be thought manifestation where you've created your own attachment, essentially, your own dark energy that's stuck to you. But typically, like when I see it on somebody, it presents itself as like a little dark ball that's just kind of there. So a lot of people can see that on others.
Yeah. Just thinking a lot of things.
Yeah.
I mean, it can it also can be yourself a little bit too. You gotta get yourself out of it sometimes, and those voices are just trying to they realize where you're
thought
at.
Manifestation. You create your own.
Just like you say, you believe in it all. Until we misprove anything, everything's true. Anything could be true because you can't really say it's not. You no matter what that voice in your head is saying, the right answer. Which a lot of times when people go, "Are you afraid to take that next step in life?" and they'll answer like, "You mean quit my job and move to New Orleans?" And it's like, see, you knew what you were afraid of before I even said it.
So just what you said, a lot of times people's attachments aren't just spirit. It's the thought manifestation. It's your own shadow.
Yeah, very good.
So a lot of times people think that they have something, making their life worse, and it's actually their own shadow that they haven't dealt with.
I don't think the word is confidence. I think the word is allowing yourself to live. Does that make sense?
That's a lot of words.
because you can say it's confidence to move forward or do things or to bring yourself up or to stay positive, but it's actually like you got to allow yourself to take the step more than, I don't know. Now we're getting into like self-motivation.
Yeah, I don't know. Where are we going?
I don't know.
Don't try to get me in on any self-motivation crap.
Hold on, we have 2 more questions. One from
Yes.
Popcorn and one from Balder. Have you
taking a
ever
car
taken?
battery.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever taken a car battery to a location and say use the battery's energy to manifest? We've never taken a car battery, but on the Hornet, Brian made a pretty big ass EM pump, and it gave us all headaches.
Possibly the biggest I've ever seen.
And it's a very big EM pump. It's in a big black tub. It took 2 of us to carry it.
The magnet was. It came in a box that was like 2 feet by 2 feet, filled with a big styrofoam packaging thing for a neodymium magnet about this big, square, and I rigged that up in a in a EMF pump, and
then it caught on fire. Did that make it in the show, or did I edit that out? I don't remember.
Burned a little bit. I've been meaning to revamp it because
I should go check that out.
Because I remember you were very adamant that it have Ghostbusters caution tape on it and a flashing light. So I put it for you.
Yes, I wanted a flashing siren light. Here's another one here. Do you think spirits can read your mind and already have the question ready for your questions? Absolutely. Watch Picnic Table 29. As I'm on the spirit box, I say, I'm going to put my spirit box goes foot on the table. Like as I'm putting my foot on the table. It's finished my sentence before I can even say it. I think they kind of know what's going as you think it up. Hi, Dan Tex.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that they can read your mind, especially aliens.
You think aliens can read your mind? You don't think spirits?
They're telepathic.
The aliens definitely.
No, spirits can too, for sure.
Do you think? What do you think happens different to a medium when they cross over as opposed to a normal non-medium when they cross over? Me and Brian, when we die, what happens different to us than when you die? How much more aware are you?
I'm going back to my home planet. So I don't know what happens to you guys, but I'm going back home. Out. For other mediums, I have no fucking idea, but I'm going back with my aliens, and I'm sure I'll be back again, unfortunately. But...
Are you from Serpo? Or... Serpo.
What if
Everyone
ghosts
knows
are
what
aliens
Serpo is.
pretending to be people? Listen,
It could be.
wouldn't be the first time. I had actually an encounter recently in Saks Haunted Museum, because I go there all the time, right? And so when aliens communicate to me, it's telepathic. It's very different than when a spirit communicates with me.
Oh.
And I was down in the basement, and I came up, and it was kind of dark and sinister, but something was communicating telepathically with me, but it was presenting itself as a human. And I was like, but you can't do that because humans don't communicate telepathically. So it was a really weird experience where I didn't know if it was alien. I didn't know if it was a spirit. Like I didn't know because the communication style wasn't matching the image.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. So very possible, Balder.
Is it hard to tell the difference in what you're getting?
Like between.
I would assume alien spirits, ghosts, whatever you want to.
It's like I don't usually hear anything unless it's through equipment. Unless I review a thing. I've heard very few voices with my ear. And the things I've seen are glimpses and shadows and flashes. But you're communicating. Is it hard to filter? Like, what's what. And do you ever get an identical like recording or spirit box to something you're getting through your mind's eye?
Yes,
Like a paralleled, you know.
Yes. So lots of different things. So I know right off the bat when, well, first off, I know when a non-human entity is near my body. So as a medium, we have to create symbols, and like we have to create like our own little guide for ourselves to help understand. So like my body will give me a cue. I can't explain it, but I get a cue when there's a non-human entity near.
So when I see, the few times I've seen stuff, I get like right before I see it, I get this like roller coaster rush.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's like energy.
Before I see it.
Yeah,
it's like my heart stops, and then I see it, and then it's like I'm terrified for that second before I realize what I'm looking at.
Yeah, I mean, your body is your biggest conduit, right? So your body's already picking up on the fact that something's about to happen.
Yeah.
Or I always think of it as like, you know how like the dogs can predict earthquakes before they happen? Our body is like the dog that can predict an earthquake before it happens. But I can easily distinguish most of the time between alien, spirit, non-human entity, disembodied voice versus just clairaudient receiving spirit, because they come in different ears. So like I hear spirit through my left, I hear disembodied through my right. But yeah, so it's like I have my own little guide for myself.
So you've learned to filter the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Now, have you ever been like running EVP, hear something through your mind, and then you catch it?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. Or you catch it.
Or I catch it. Do you think...
Aurora. Hold on. Aurora asked, oh yeah.
Please tell me you guys have encountered a sassy, ornery ghost. Just one of those grumpy old men types. Oh, tons.
Well, as a grumpy old man. Sorry.
Brian, what did the ghost say to us on the spirit box in the Good Springs graveyard?
Oh, what did it say? I don't remember, Stephen.
My children might be watching, but it...
Oh wait, I'm starting to remember now. I remember it being quite vulgar, but
something about a rooster, about sucking on a rooster.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I got that. It just full on. It said like "go to hell." It sounded like the Bart Simpson kind of curse word thing. But it was like "go to hell, suck my cock," and it was like, "What? What did it say?"
So, ladies and gentlemen, I need to wrap this up. But Stephen and Mandy are welcome to go on as long as
if people are asking questions, I might stay a minute.
Yeah, I want to answer Balder's question really quickly.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna out, and I'll see everybody soon. Okay.
All right, Brian.
All right, bye, B. See you this weekend.
See you, buddy. Now it's just 2.
Down to 2.
That's the rudest I've ever had. Is a spirit tell us to S my seat.
I love sassy ghosts. I love it. They're my favorite.
Is this the one you're talking about right here?
Yeah, I want to answer this.
Read it out, Mandy.
Do you think fae people can be considered ghosts? I once saw a small blue light fly over my desk and disappear behind a statue, but found nothing. So
I've never heard of fae.
So fae are fairy people.
Oh, fairy people.
Okay. And so we consider, or at least I consider fairy people to be elemental. And so I think elemental energy can get misconstrued for ghosts. I think that's very possible.
Yeah.
Elementals are everywhere, and there's so many different types. There's like your tree elementals, which are your tree spirits, your fairy spirits, gnomes, like it goes on and on. But yeah, I do think that I guess you can consider it ghosts. They can present activity very similar to how a ghost can.
That Ghost Adventures were there. I think they're in Ireland, and they hear that lady's voice from the forest. Remember that one?
Oh yeah.
They were in like it was just Aaron and Zach, I think, and they're in like a golf cart, and it's like it was like no you don't or something like real loud from the forest, and they said there was no one around. That one kind of I remember that, but you go to Norway and Sweden and places like that. As serious as we take Bigfoot, they take trolls and fae people that serious. Like,
yeah, I saw my first gnome. It was a Menahee or Menahue. Oh my god, I butchered this.
Was it Elvis gnome?
No, but I saw my first gnome in Hawaii, and it was called the Menahee, and they're like
Menahue.
Menahue.
I have two of them outside.
Good.
Yeah.
They're not good. They're mischievous little fuckers, and they can create massive chaos in your life if you're not careful. Yeah.
I have a book on the Menahune or something too.
So
if they like you,
first one.
If they like you, they can bring you good fortune, and if they don't like you, they can fuck with you.
They can, but it was my first time. I was sitting in the retreat house in Hawaii, and I heard clear as day, like not clairaudiently, I heard a disembodied voice go, "Hey, psst, hey." And I was like, the fuck is happening? And I look over, and in my third eye, I see a little fucking Menahue thing, like a little baby gnome, like sticking out from the outside, like it wasn't allowed in the house, and it's just looking at me like, "Hey." And I was like, "Oh no, get away from me!" So
they're supposed to be really lucky to be seen at your wedding.
No,
if
I see one, I will.
They say if you're from Hawaii, they're supposed to show up at your wedding, and that's like super lucky. What? I got a whole book on them that somebody gave me. Where is it?
Who was it? Was it written by a native Hawaiian?
Yeah. Well, the book has all kinds of offbeat cryptids, but
all I know is it was very, very adamant that I do not let this little guy in the house, and so I didn't. But yeah, so anyways.
Yeah.
Ooh, Aurora asked another question.
Was this the big question? Yeah. Read it out. I've been reading. My throat's getting dry.
Sleep paralysis demon. Do you think it could be spirit related? I love sleep paralysis. Okay. I want to hear. Okay. So I want to hear in the comments because I'm gathering my own little research for this. If you've ever had sleep paralysis in your life, I want you to tell me, have you ever seen a spirit in the room with you during sleep paralysis? And if you have, was it a female or was it a male? Please comment if you have, because I need to know.
One of my good friends sees when they have sleep paralysis, she says a horse will be walking around her bed. Like a horse. And sometimes it's on fire, she says.
Interesting.
Well, she can't wake up.
So I believe sleep paralysis is caused, it depends. I think there's different varieties of sleep paralysis.
Wait. When am I going to do an overnight solo?
We're not done with the question.
I know, but that's just, they've asked it twice. I don't want to go alone. Go ahead. Sorry.
Gotta bring it back. It was a man. Okay. So sleep paralysis can, obviously, it can be scientific. I'm not going to throw that one away. There could be an actual scientific reason or biological reason that it is happening to you. However, from a spiritual standpoint, so I've experienced sleep paralysis both externally, like a spirit in my room, and also internally in the sense that I was in my dream in a place where I was trying to get out and I physically couldn't move my body. But every single time it has been external sleep paralysis, there's always somebody who's controlling it. At least what I've seen.
Two saying it's a man.
Two said it's a man. Everybody that I've talked to has said there's a woman. So I'm trying to figure out, because it's always one entity that is controlling the sleep paralysis, and everybody can see it. You can see this person or thing or whatever it is, however it's presenting, watching you while you're in this fucking state where you can't move.
But a lot of sleep paralysis, if you were to kind of smudge the veil a little bit, is very similar to abduction. Paralyzed, something is controlling the situation. Something standing over you, working on your body. It's
that's what I'm trying to figure out what people are seeing.
I think paralysis is probably alien abduction. And another theory is you're waking up between the veil and whatever guards people from the death of dreams. Have you ever heard that?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever guards people is protecting you. And if you wake up and there's nothing there, then you're open and could be attacked. Your guard's supposed to be there, like your horse or your man or your woman or your old lady. You're supposed to. Everyone has a guard. That's kind of where they wrote up Freddy Krueger, that he's the thing that can come at you in your dreams, unless there's the Dream Master, the thing that protects the realm of dream and reality, so nothing can happen to you.
Yeah, I don't know. I see, and that's the thing is, I feel like most people don't have a positive experience. Obviously,
no, most people don't like it.
But it just, I'm just so fascinated because everybody sees something different, and I want to know. And it's always a single entity, though. That's the main thing. It's always one, but it's either a man, a woman. In this case, a black entity. But there's always somebody just fucking standing in the corner or standing in the hallway watching you while this happens. And I'm so fascinated.
Now, I've had bad dreams where I can't wake up, or I'm laying there trying to scream to wake myself up and I can't scream.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the same thing?
Yeah.
Where you're
that's
like,
an internal, to me, internal
like,
sleep paralysis.
I'm
External is where
this.
you're like awake, but you can't like get up, and then there's someone there.
Man was not good. A good man. I can.
Yeah, I'm telling you, and for most people, it doesn't happen all the time. Like it'll happen like maybe like a couple times a year, if that.
Shadow person.
I was so fun part of being a medium. I was sleeping with someone one time, and they were in the middle of a sleep paralysis episode, and I actually saw the very similar to the old hag standing over him, like face to face over him. And as soon as he came out, like he came out of it, just vanished. Like
now
she vanished.
You screamed about the old hag. You went, "Oh fuck!"
Dude,
I just saw the old. Now what is that to you?
I still don't know. I'm trying to figure it out.
You saw something familiar to you in Virginia City in the depot. Because you went, "Oh fuck!" I just saw her, and it was
the old hag, and I first encountered her at the Star of India, and she is not.
Oh, that same one. Okay, you told me about her.
Yeah,
but it's the same one.
I called her out. I said some shit about her at the Star of India, and then she like physically hurt me at the Star of India.
Oh, wow.
And then she fucking shows up every now and then whenever she wants, and it's so like, I can only explain it. Like, I know we have like the ordinary image of the old hag, but she looks like the witch from Snow White.
Which one?
The one with the apple.
The classic cartoon witch.
Yeah, the classic. Yeah, okay. That's what she looks like. I don't like her.
We got 12 people in here still, and if y'all want us to stay on, I want to see some likes pop up. We've only got one like. Let's get some likes. That'll help us in the algorithm. It'll help our channel. It'll help everything. And if we can share it out and get more people in here, we'll keep talking. If not, we got to go to bed. Let's get some likes.
I have a pack.
I got a pack too.
I haven't packed yet.
We got to switch everything over to vehicles. Let's get some likes. I want to see them popping. Make them pop the likes.
I've had. I've definitely, Baldur, I've had the screams in my ear too. I hate those. It's always so random, and it's almost like they just do it just because they can. Because they know that you'll hear them.
Yeah, I felt like I've had something screaming at me, and I can't wake up, and I can't scream back. Have you ever had more than human spirits come through in an Estes session?
Yes.
I
think a lot of people have.
I've never Estes. Which I'm curious to see what it's like on that side, because I don't know. With the spirit box, it's very unclear a lot of times until you review, but somehow when people are under, they seem to get into a trance where it becomes very clear. And I'm always I'm shocked that more people don't go, said something I can't tell. You know what I mean? Because when you're spirit boxing, there's a lot of times you'll get stuff and you can't tell. But most people seem, once they're under and in their session, they seem very, very clear. And I'm interested to see what that's like. But I've never even done it.
Well, it's a sensory deprivation. It makes you focus
I think it's
more
because I'm such a questioner. I'm always asking the questions. I'm going to put it up eventually. When I was asking some questions when you were in that stall at Cantor's Deli, you were answering pretty good to me. I was rapid fire questioning right over your shoulder, and you were coming back with pretty significant answers to everything.
Yeah, it's fun. I like Estes.
Kindred, we need to have Kindred on the show.
I know, Kindred. Can we have you on the show? Angels and demons come through. That's always interesting. I actually did a spirit box session not too long ago where spirit guides came through on spirit box and said that angels communicate using sound. You can't hear their voice.
They said it on the spirit box?
Yeah. They said because we were talking to someone's guide and we're like, how do we communicate with angels? Like, how do they come through? And it said sound. So
weird.
I said, okay, interesting. So I mean, I have no idea. I've never tried to contact an angel on spirit box. Super fascinating.
Is scrying dangerous? Mirror thing. Do you mean focusing on the mirror and trying to see what's inside you, kind of Bela Lugosi style, or putting two mirrors up? I don't know mirror to mirror. I've actually attempted to do the crystal ball scrying, where I've sat with a crystal ball and tried to just stare into it as I ask questions for a prolonged period of time, which is kind of how old gypsies supposedly saw your future. They would stare in the crystal ball long enough and they'd rotate it, and so they would start to see visions. But I've never done mirror to mirror, and I don't think it can be dangerous because I think
mirror to mirror I've seen it done, and it's really cool.
Now, what do you do for that scrying? Or is that just you put mirrors facing each other?
You put mirrors facing each other, and then you
ask questions.
You can get in the middle if you want. Okay. Which
you should do that.
I don't think it's dangerous. I think that scrying is no different than using spirit box or whatever. The only thing is this with scrying, you're opening your like when you're doing simple communication like spirit box, you're just communicating. But with scrying or with Estes, you are allowing yourself to be a channel. So with that, it's more of just being aware of what could come with that, which could be uncomfortable, especially if your body's being manipulated in certain ways, your mind, you're just fully opening yourself up. I don't think it's dangerous at all. I just think that it's more of just being aware of what that can look like and feel like. And making sure that you always close it down. If you ever interact with the mirror, close that shit down afterwards.
Wow. Well, because I have all these books. It makes me sound like a lunatic. I had a book on gypsies because I wanted to find out about werewolf stuff. Why do you laugh at me? Because I got this gypsy book. It was gypsy lore mythology.
Okay, Colin Robinson.
Not one thing about werewolves in the whole thing, and I got so mad because I thought there'd be gypsies in it. I mean werewolves, but it did say to use the crystal ball. Chant what you're trying to see. Like, show me the future, am I safe? Show me the future, am I safe? Show me, and as long as you chant, something to do with the chanting and the scrying, answer that question. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kindred Paranormal, we're gonna make it happen.
You saw mirrors are crazy. It's so fascinating how mirrors can be such a portal.
Downtown LA, there's a place. What's the restaurant? It's a nice restaurant that's on the roof of a building, called like the Lookout or something like that. It's a really nice restaurant. My friend got married there. On the way out, I asked just the doorman, like, any ghosts here? And he goes, you see those big squares? And there was this hallway of big framed blank walls. He goes, those used to be mirrors, but everyone be walking down and they'd look in the mirrors and see people walking behind them that weren't there. Ooh. Until people complained so much they took the mirrors out. And I thought that was pretty cool. And then he said also, any floor that wasn't occupied, they turned the security cameras off because they would see people walking around, and they would go check and there'd be no one there. So they just started turning those floors off because they don't want to be bothered with it.
Oh, that's cool.
Do you think Ghost Adventures opens a lot of portals and doesn't close them? Do you think they teeter a bit too close? Well, you also don't see what they do off camera. You know what I mean? They could close it and they could not.
They could for sure. I think the only team that I've ever actually seen close properly would be, is it Kindred Spirits?
Well, but also the closing part might not be exciting, so it doesn't make it the edit, you know.
I mean, I could be wrong. I just don't think that. I love Ghost Adventures. I don't care what anyone says. I love them, but I also don't think that they're going around closing portals. I'm just saying.
But I don't think they open them the same way people.
No, they're not like either. We're opening this and this is it. I just think that they just go in and leave. Yeah. But sometimes they do.
A few times they use a Ouija board or something. Other than that, I don't think they do.
Like there was one time where they did do that. They had mirrors facing each other and did the whole thing, and then that was kind of that. And I was like, oh, we're just gonna leave that open. Okay. So.
What's this one? All right. Quick building I work in. Outside, there's a placard that says 2 babies were laid to rest there. But to our knowledge, no deaths in the building, but it's definitely an active place. Well, that placard, I wanted to say Picard, and I knew it was wrong. And I was like, outside of my building I work in.
All right, give us a definition. Use it in a sentence.
Placard, like a sign on the wall, or the captain of the Enterprise, Jean-Luc Placard.
Dang, I want to go there.
Well, what that means is if there were 2 babies laid to rest, they may not have died there. They could have just been, laid to rest there. If there's a placard saying it, I would trust a placard. Because it's put up for a reason. There's probably a ceremony or something. They could have been the children of someone important to the building and just not have died there and just been laid to rest there in their honor. Which leads to the question: do spirits attach themselves to places even if they don't pass there?
Yes.
Absolutely. I think they can pass themselves anywhere. When you go to the Stanley Hotel,
they can pass themselves anywhere. Fuck yeah!
Placard screwed me up. They can choose anywhere. There's a very prominent spirit of a boy in the Stanley, but it's a boy who lived in London, grew to a man, and died, but someone who knew it was his spirit, because he summered at the Stanley his whole life, and when he passed, he went back to being a boy at the Stanley, playing in the piano room. And they go, it's absolutely his spirit, but it's just him as a boy. That's just how he remembers life, and what sticks out the most to him. From died in London. Are y'all talking placard on there?
Placard. Kindred, you're definitely right. Jay is legit. He's just over here like, I'm gonna fucking get in this pentagram and open up some demonic stuff, and then I'm just gonna close it. He knows so much though, so if anyone's gonna be closing it, it's definitely Jay.
Yeah,
for sure. Ooh, what's your scariest experience, Steven?
Probably Nevada State Prison. That fucking face, God, I still see it. Picard does that to people. Thank you, number one. Word of the day, guys. Placard. I'm a little dyslexic, so I read words in whole. So if it says the horse used the hose, I can say the hose used the horse pretty easy. I don't know why. My eyes are trained that way. Words that are very close kind of stick
lickering
together.
flights.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. We all have a blind spot, so it's okay. I think Nevada State Prison may have been my scariest experience. Let's get some more likes. Share it out. Get more people in here.
Honestly, I can't tell you my secret. I don't know.
What was it? Here's a question for you. What was it like when I saw that to you? What did you feel? Did you feel a sense of
nothing?
I
felt nothing. So I was very like taken aback, and I was just like, why is he so crazy right now? And then all of a sudden it was like you started going, I literally felt not a thing. But
I didn't know what to do with my voice.
I don't know if you heard. Well, I was also focused because you were getting crazy, and there were very distinct footsteps right outside. And that's why I was like, wait. But obviously in the moment, like nobody was listening to me, right? Because of your experience. But I was like, hold on, there's things happening. Like, I was very taken aback for sure. Hold on. Kindred he mentioned a comment that they can also be in multiple. I do agree with that. Yeah, spirits can be in multiple places at the same time.
Marilyn Monroe is everywhere. And I believe she is, because she's such a strong spirit, and her spirit, her influence, her memory just put an etch everywhere she went. Just scarred, just scratched her life force into every location. Someone like that. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I think that it's energy, right? Like spirit and ghost, it's all energy. So that energy can divide and multiply. And yeah. So I actually think it's very possible that two different people can be having the same very real experience with the same spirit, because that spirit can divide its energy equally.
Yeah, make it so.
Do you think a lot of portals were open back the time when it was popular? Yeah, back when like doing seances in your living room with people over was like the thing to do. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's just in their living rooms doing these seances and opening portals. Totally. Yeah.
When The Exorcist, they say when The Exorcist came out, the word devil finally became a household name. It wasn't common as it is now. When The Exorcist hit, people started focusing on the devil and focusing on evil spirits. And they say that, you know, even though the movie was a movie, it still brought this topic up very strong, and people focus on it. People would see The Exorcist and go home and say they saw it in their house. They would see The Exorcist, go home and use the Ouija board to try to talk to the devil, and they would say they would. So how many things like The Exorcist or just the Ouija board becoming popular in the 80s, can just bring stuff like that manifest as a whole, open portals all over the country. Every time The Exorcist plays, probably opens a portal.
Well, I mean,
Right.
and if you think about it too, like when you do like a Ouija board session, right? The portal that you're opening is like this big. I mean, it's small, okay? But then you do something enough so many times in certain places, you get these bigger portals that open. And imagine that they're fucking all over the world because people are doing them. And so now you have just little open doorways all over the world for whatever you want to come through.
Yeah. I've been a few places where it feels crowded. Empty place, but it just feels crowded. Here's one about the Zozo. What are your thoughts on Zozo? I'm beginning to think it might be an egregore.
I can never say that word, but I know what you're talking about.
Egregore?
Yeah, thought manifestation for sure.
All right, thought manifestation like Tall Man. The more people believe it, they try to conjure it, it becomes reality. Like the Tall Man is exactly the same thing as Zozo. Tall Man was made by a college professor. He made it up and told his students about it and told them to go research it. And they started coming back with all these theories and stories and firsthand accounts and seeing it. And it was just something he made up. Very much like, what was that experiment? It's a kid's name, where they tried to contact their own manifestation that we talked about with that lady Brian knew in one of the first episodes. They did everything you would with a seance, trying to conjure and to contact a fake person. And after a while, they started making contact because their things are connecting with the story, energy.
Yeah.
Slenderman.
The first team, Kindred Spirits, did this, which because I watch all the ghost shows. I watched this with all the ghost shows, but Kindred Spirits actually did an episode where they were like, let's put this to the test. And so they went into this location that was known for this zombie-like thing that people would see. And they were like, let's just see, because it sounded a lot like this was thought manifestation, not an actual haunting. And they made up a list of things, like facts, quote unquote facts. They're not real, but they made up a list and spoke it out loud in this room. They were like, oh, this spirit's here, and his dad died in the Civil War, and his mom was this and this and this. And they read it all out loud. When they went back and did an EVP recording and everything, they started asking those questions. And guess what came up? The same fucking answers that were on the page that they had just written, essentially proving that you can create a haunting through thought manifestation. If you put enough energy into it, you can create it. It's so fascinating.
I was saying Tall Man, but I meant Slender Man. Yes, Paul. Tall Man's from Phantasm. Sorry.
Kindred. Yeah, that episode really opened up my eyes to the whole idea. I'm like, oh my God, how many spirits?
Say that word.
Egregos? Say it.
Egregos?
I can't say it. Yeah, that we've all seen that episode where, and it makes you wonder how many hauntings are actually like actual beings, or are they just stuff we've put so much energy into something that we've created it ourselves? So,
like, how long has the tale of this building been told until it's just it is what it is?
Yeah.
That happened to me at the Leonis Adobe Museum, where every tour there tells about this horrible man who stole the land from the woman, and all I kept getting was, I didn't steal it, like stuff like that. Like, are you mad at the tours saying that you stole it? And it was like, yes. And it was like, geez. Egregore. Egregor, Picard, Placard.
Nice.
Maybe it's 9:40.
It is 9:40.
I think it's time to go.
I have to pack.
I got babies got school in the morning. Tomorrow's only Thursday. We got another day.
And I have to pack.
We'll be live a lot as much as possible. I don't know what the signal will be like. We'll be live as much as possible, or just like our Virginia City through our TikTok right now. If you're on our TikTok, we're doing a lot of these little Virginia City shorts, telling you about places we went to eat, places we visited. We're putting shorts up on YouTube. Watch our YouTube shorts. They're only 1 minute, so I edit out a little bit to get them to fit on YouTube. But the longer versions are on TikTok, and I'm gonna kind of do just our trip to Virginia City YouTube video eventually. And very soon, we're gonna have our Goldfield School investigation up on Paraflix, which is
yeah, man. Vulture City this weekend. So
Vulture
City
City.
Paracon. So if any of you are in the Wickenburg, Arizona area, we will be there with lots of other people.
My beautiful wife will be there too. I almost asked her to be our guest tonight. We're just gonna interview Tay.
Love it. I want to visit Central Louisiana to come investigate Aurora's building.
Me too, Aurora. We want to go there.
Well,
everyone,
thanks,
thank you so much. Thank you. Pray hands. Leave a comment what you want. Leave a comment for what you want to see. Go to our social media. My email's there. If you want to email Hollywood Paranormal Detectives at gmail.com, ask us any questions, send us stories, anything you want, or emails there. Go over to our Linktree, check out our Patreon. If more people join the Patreon, we may do more for the Patreon. We may do like investigations just for the Patreon, or do some, like a section of a building. If we go somewhere, just put that on Patreon. So, for just $1 a month, you lose that much at the gas station, in your change, in your pocketbooks, in your laundry. $1 a month from 50 of you, it really changes a lot from us. We can stream this on, as opposed to our 3 things now, we could stream on up to 5 things and get more people. We can get people from Twitter talking, get people from Linktree, all in the same view. Another thing, if you guys have a Twitch, go over to Twitch and follow us on Twitch, because Twitch is starting to grow. And it's very neat the way they treat people. And we would love to have just, some content come out on Twitch. And I do some gaming. I try to keep it to ghost scary gaming. So if you want to see me get scared and freak out and play some spooky games, go over to Twitch. There's a couple of videos on there still too. And if you like HPD, get one of those HPD shirts. Follow the link tree in our bio. Go to that Teespring, get you an HPD t-shirt. Pop it up on Instagram. We'll retweet it, and if you pop it up, if you get a shirt and you come back here, we'll bring you on the show. You can interview for an episode with us. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
So that's only the people that are watching know that if you get a shirt, you get on the show.
I love it.
And if you come and meet us in person, you get a cool little HPD sticker. We're going to be giving out stickers, giving out high fives and hugs. Come chew the fat with us, talk some trash, have some fun. I think we're pretty nice people. We're pretty good. I like us.
I like us.
Thank you so much, everybody, for staying on just to hear the two of us chit chat. Woo!
We did it.
All right. Well, have a great night, everyone. And for Brian, I'll say good night, Brian. Thanks.
Bye.
Everybody. Good night, Brian.